Hello, welcome back to Goldmine Group A North America action. We've just had First Killer versus J-Bot in the first match of the group. Now it's time to move on to the second match of the group. It's Chronic versus AlphaKep. And yeah, hearing all those names, I'm sure you guys would agree with me that this has to be the group of death. But yeah, looks like we're ready to get started on the second match of the evening with Chronic in the blue, AlphaKep in the orange, and game sound turned on. Let's get it underway. Chronic in the Dominus, AlphaKep in the Fennec. My money on this for this one has to go on Chronic. There we go. Sorry, just trying to find the game sound. I've got like so many different. Yeah, no sound. Don't worry, I'm on it. I was trying to find it while talking. I accidentally scrolled too far down on OBS, but we went back up to the top. I found it. My game sound moved from bottom to top for some reason. But there we go. Just to make me look silly, AlphaKep gets the opening goal. I think Chronic's going to win it though. This is the first time he's been able to play in a big 1v1 tournament this year. He obviously played in the was it earlier in the year, the Salt Mine 1. Just the Salt Mine it was. But he didn't get to play in Fusion or Salt Mine 2. In fact, did Chronic play in Fusion? I think he did play in Fusion actually, but he didn't qualify. His team didn't make it in. Oh, beautiful. Look at that from Chronic. Pretty sick air roll shot there. Sorry, AlphaKep, but we have to take another look at that one. Oh, just look at the lift that he's able to generate on the ball. Absolutely no chance to save that with a reaction. First Killer, the game sound is not on. It should be. I believe game sound is definitely on right now. I double checked to make sure. Yeah, my two favorites before seeing the games, my favorites to make it out of this group were First Killer and Chronic. Oh wow, AlphaKep here to make me look silly though apparently, because that's another great goal from him. Perfect timing on the flick. There should not be any ads running right now. I ran them much earlier. Not sure why they're running right now for people. But yeah, I do run ads during the breaks, during the actual breaks, because that means that they don't run during the gameplay. Or they run less often during the gameplay. It's better to run them manually during the breaks. It's the same for every Twitch channel these days. Targeted ad breaks during actual moments where the content isn't happening are pretty normal. Oh, nicely done. AlphaKep turning a pretty dangerous position into a good one very quickly, and then turning it right back into an even position. And now he's turned it into a goal for Chronic, unless that's hitting the bar. It isn't. Oh dear. Well, initially I was very impressed that AlphaKep managed to spot the demo opportunity, because that wasn't an obvious one. He read Chronic's movement very well, but he just didn't get the shot off in time. He should have been able to score into an open net there. Now Chronic with a mind game. That's beautiful. He had the power earlier on, and now he's got the deftest of touches. Wondermike is crushing com. Ah yeah, so I didn't get around to my other predictions. So, I mean, if we're talking Group A, First Killer, Chronic were my favorites. Group 2, gotta go for Mile, Forky, to be honest. Group C, gotta go for Lion Blaze, Wondermike. And Group D has to be Magic Bear AJ. Those are my predictions for who was going to make it out. Now, I think I've already got a couple wrong. Well, I've already had a couple of my players who I thought were going to win, but they've already lost, so my predictions are looking pretty silly already. Mecto's up 2-0 on Forky. Is that in games or in goals? That would be disastrous for Forky if he's down 2-0 in games. But Forky is streaming, right? Because if Forky's streaming, then I think his chances of qualifying drop significantly. I don't know if this is just me, but Forky's Twitch chat is easily the most tilting Twitch chat from a North American Rocket League streamer. It's up there with Jesse, it's up there with Scrubkilla for tilting Twitch chats. Twitch chats that are just going to make the streamer play worse, in my opinion. Just look, when I read the comments in Forky's Twitch chat during his games, I'm like, oh man, how could he not get tilted by some of these comments? No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you tell yourself that those things don't matter to you and that you're just going to ignore it all. It's not how it works. There's always going to be some comments that get under your skin when you're competing. Forky led both games, so it's close. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure the games will be close. I'm sure they'll be competitive, but Mektos is a very dangerous player. Maybe when Forky's streaming, he has the edge even. You have the multi-stream up and you're listening to everyone at the same time? Okay, who's the loudest in that case? If you're listening to everybody at the same time, it's gotta be Shogun, right? Shogun, he is the play-by-play. The classic. Unless Athena is like really rooting for somebody to win, then maybe she's the loudest. That was nice. Look at AlphaKep. That was so clean. Just a little love tap. Boop. It just got him right on the tip of the air dribble there. You guys think Athena's the loudest? Okay. Athena is Wonder Mike's mom. Alright, okay. Is Athena solo casting today, or is she casting with her, with Orb, who always does the G2 streams with them? With them? With her. Forky's trying to clip on Mektos, and Mektos is playing basic. Yeah, Mektos is a very smart player. Very positional. This is turning out to be quite a weird series here between Chronic and AlphaKep. There's been so many just hard reads on defensive moves. Like right there, Chronic just goes for a flick, and AlphaKep is so badly positioned to save it because his challenge is just nowhere near landing. And I've seen that happen both ways, actually. We've seen both players just easily flick the ball in because the timing of the flick has been so perfect. It's made the defense look completely obsolete. And well, speaking of obsolete defense, AlphaKep misses the boost and makes himself completely irrelevant in the play. Don't know if he would have had much chance on it anyway. Well, this would have been a bit 50-50, I guess, whether or not that's a goal. Oh, nice save by Chronic. He's still in a rough position here, but he's hiding inside the post. Okay, now AlphaKep knows where he is. Look at the top corner. What? Okay. Oh, AlphaKep didn't get the boost either. That is disastrous. Oh, that's easily one of the most tilting things you could possibly have happen. The ball bounces off the post, hits your opponent, goes wide into the corner. You drive over the boost, it's not there. Your opponent drives over the same boost, and it spawns for them. Oh my goodness, what a chain of unfortunate events for AlphaKep. Still in this though, one goal. Boost is up in the back corner. He avoids the demo very nicely. Chronic wasn't all in for it though. He had a backup plan. Immediately turns around, keeps the pressure on. AlphaKep down the line. Thought Chronic was coming in for an early challenge. For once, Chronic's challenge is extremely well selected. He's playing keep away here. Time wasting very effectively, but AlphaKep has one more chance. And once again, at the end of the game, Chronic has a perfect read on AlphaKep's offense. And, you know, in a game where the defense for both players, I would say, was very off. It was extremely difficult for either player to establish themselves defensively, to start to consistently land challenges. Chronic at the very end of it was the one who was starting to connect with consecutive challenges and make this into a fairly comfortable ending for him. AlphaKep played 2-1s games for practice today. Seems like a good idea. Yeah, I love the Ball Chaser title on Chronic, by the way. That's genius. Do you guys think Ball Chaser is the best title to run a 1v1 tournament with? Just to annoy the other players as much as possible? I would say so, personally. It's got to be, yeah, Salt Miner is a good one as well. Salt Miner is usually my title of choice because not only is it a potential tilter for your opponents, but it's also extremely accurate to, you know, the past year of my Rocket League content creation. I don't know, Ball Chaser might be more tilting than Salt Miner though. If your opponent has Ball Chaser and they are ball chasing, it's gotta, I don't know, it's gotta be annoying. Free advertising, yeah, the Salt Miner title doing advertisement for us here. Big thanks to Psyonix for making that possible. Still waiting on the nose topper to be added to the Rocket League shop. I think that would be my best branding possible. Right. And my honest prediction from here on is that Chronic's going to sweep. He seemed to have a really good read on AlphaKep at the end of that last game. So if that continues, then Chronic should be able to keep AlphaKep at bay long enough to establish leads. Nice wave dash bump here though by Kepp. He just tripped up Chronic at the near post. It was already pretty awkward for Chronic because he was fresh off a respawn, being as conservative as possible with the boost that he did have. Demolition Demon. Yeah, true, that's another good tilter. Have I seen Josh Burke from KSA play any games yet? He's looking like a monster. No, I've not. What server does he usually play on? What server do the KSA players prefer? Mectus swept Farkeep? Wow. Well, that group's way ahead of our one. Looks like we're going to be in for the long haul by comparison. Farkeep still has one more chance. I think he can do it. I think, you know, if Farkeep gets some momentum, he might be getting a rematch with Magic Bear later on today. With Magic Bear? With Mectus later on today is what I meant to say. 2-1, and now AlphaKep forced to do a little bit more defending. Sees the demo coming a mile away. Chronic won't be too bothered. He's not going all in for his demos. I'm really happy to see that from Chronic. He's threatening the aggressive plays, but he's always steering away from the play afterwards. He's got the recovery in motion. Oh man, Chronic had so much space to the right here, but he's going to go straight down the middle. It's not going to work out. AlphaKep with the save on what looked like a half an air dribble bump. The setup made it difficult to tell. Both players are being extremely direct here. This is a bit of old-fashioned 1v1 offense. Now Chronic will mix things up. This is more along the lines of what I like to see, but AlphaKep with a very good challenge. He saw the danger that Chronic was starting to build up with that attack, and he cuts him off at the only point that he could. Oh, that's the nightmare bounce for Chronic. The only one that was saving AlphaKep in that position. Yeah, both these guys are very good at air dribble bumps, so it is extremely viable for them to dribble directly at their opponents. Or dribble directly at each other, I should say. But I still like to see variety in the offense. AlphaKep will go straight down the middle once again, and it is that air dribble bump, or is it? Switches up to the air dribble this time. It's the standard air dribble. Now Kepp has his flip reset. And he's going to wave dash into a 50-50, I think, to force the ball over the line. Let's take another look. I'm fairly sure he landed that reset. Yeah, he did. And he got a burst of speed there that Chronic wasn't ready for. Now that reply in chat there might be in reference to AlphaKep's previous comment, which turns out to be quite accurate. Never mind, you're right. Oh, that's so funny. Chronic was about to disagree. He was about to be like, I don't know. Feels like kickoffs are pretty even, and then he gets a kickoff goal. So he's not even allowed to disagree. Maybe AlphaKep's losing kickoffs on purpose just to prove a point now. Oh, that's almost in. Good power by Chronic. Now AlphaKep's bumped him out of the sky. Luckily for him that he did, because Chronic would have probably scored there. You know what, guys? Based on what I'm seeing so far from these guys, I think JBot and First Killer will progress if Chronic can't step up. Now, I am going to say Chronic's got a ton of experience in 1v1 show matches. He's got a ton of experience in, you know, from Salt Mine 1, which was just under a year ago, actually. I think most of the games happened around about November. So, almost a year ago now. He's played a whole bunch of other 1v1 tournaments as well. I don't think JBot has played as much competitive ones as Chronic has. So Chronic will know how to adapt to JBot's playstyle, certainly. But on the face of it, you know, the fact that JBot took First Killer to Game 5 makes him look more impressive than Chronic or AlphaKep do here. The main reasons I'm worried for Chronic and AlphaKep is that they've been over-reliant on direct dribbles. That's an old-fashioned way of playing the game in NA. Just dribbling straight at your opponent and flicking the ball at them, or maybe these days going for an air dribble bump. Something I like a bit more in that position. You look at that compared to what JBot was producing. Yeah, JBot definitely had a tougher to read offense. Defensively, he was solid. More like it by Chronic. You know, when you've got this guy's plays off the wall, why does he dribble straight at his opponent so often? Chronic's mechanics are absolutely wild. I don't know why he dribbles straight to AlphaKep so much in this series. I mean, if I was this good at setting up off the wall plays, I would probably go for one every single game, to be honest. Why not? Like, just go for the wall every time. I love this as well, though. That's a great setup. Chronic adds a bit of angle to his dribble. And he goes straight into the top corner with the shot. Much more like it. Is he listening? Chronic, are you listening? Backflip if you're listening. Nah, don't actually. I don't think it's against the rules for them to listen into the series. Oh, do we have Steam messages on the stream? Not sure why that is. I'll go offline on Steam after this one. Really weird. Sometimes when I go live, the Steam notifications are popping up in the corner. Sometimes they're not. But yeah, I know it does cover the boost, so I'll turn it off. Yeah, that might be GG here. Chronic in the hunt for the sweep. It's, you know, this is the result I was expecting, but I didn't think we would have a sweep here. You know, maybe I think my expected result, to be honest, was 3-1 for Chronic. I thought AlphaKep would maybe take one of the first two games. You know, surprise Chronic with the aggression, the physical gameplay that he often pulls out in these games. Largely, though, it's been quite a disappointing, quite a disappointing series for AlphaKep in offense. I think he's going to be really disappointed with what he's produced up until now. Let's see if he can step it up, though. All he really needs to do is commit, I would say. You know, there's been quite a few offensive plays where he's been half-heartedly going for bumps. Just not attacked Chronic with the speed that he would need to catch Chronic off guard. But, you know, and just like Chronic did at the end of the last game, getting a bit of lateral movement into his dribbles would be, I think, a really good idea as well. One main weakness, in my opinion, for AlphaKep's gameplay is it can get predictable, or he does often just go straight at you. And, you know, there's a lot of pressure that will be generated off that. AlphaKep is very good at generating tons of shots on target. But if only a small percentage of those are finding the back of the net, then it won't be working out all that well. My game sound is mono. Is that a bad thing? I don't know if that's a problem. You might be a professional sound engineer. I am the opposite of that. Yeah, versus stereo, but stereo's of course better. Is it though? Does it matter? I mean, do you guys like to hear somebody boosting in your left ear? I didn't change anything, if that's what you're wondering. I didn't change any settings before going live today. I didn't enable my Steam notifications. I didn't, you know, turn the sound mono. Sometimes these things just happen, you know. There will be a stealth update, or there will be some new version of Rocket League or OBS or something. With most sound things, most things that are sound related, good save by AlphaKep. Yeah, most things that are sound related, most problems at least that are sound related, you just have to restart your PC and they go away. But I don't have time to do that right now. We're in the middle of a cast for a very cool tournament. Yeah, I believe you though. I believe you that it was stereo before. Some nice boost management by AlphaKep. He sees the boost steal coming in, so he just tries to save whatever he can. And in fact, saving as much as he did is what's enabled him to now secure the back corner boost. Just kept Chronic at bay on the following play. This might be the best game yet for AlphaKep. I think game one was pretty poor by both players. Defense was really all over the place by both players. Now, AlphaKep is starting to move around very well. This is easily the best defensive display he's had. A couple of great saves. Oh, Chronic with a nice one. For a second there I thought he was being toxic, because I thought this might be hitting the post. I don't know about you guys. This looked like it could be hitting the post. And I thought maybe Chronic was on the same page there, and he decided to be toxic and to give him the nice one for the open net miss, but he in fact was being nice. He's saying nice one for what was a great save and an even better recovery by AlphaKep. But yeah, the defense of both players has stepped up. Offense has yet to do so, at least consistently. We've seen a couple of bangers from Chronic. We've seen some really well-timed plays. And there's another one, actually, by AlphaKep. And you do need to time your flicks extremely well. If you're going to go right at your opponent, as soon as he saw Chronic turning, played it over the top of him. That was nicely done. You think Kepp is going to win this and then 3-1 first killer? I don't think either Kepp or Chronic have a chance to be first killer, to be honest. I don't know who I'd give a bigger chance to. But Chronic has always struggled against first killer. He's got a bit of a mental block against him. And I just don't see AlphaKep's style working very well against first killer. The only guys who have given first killer trouble, or, you know, gone close with him in recent time, have been Kinsey. Extremely mechanical, extremely smart, and very adaptable gameplay. J-Bot today, likewise. Lion Blaze, same again. Maybe more defensive than the other two I mentioned. Oh, nicely done. Look at the placement. Chronic just knew he was hitting this one. Look how close he is to the opposition net. If he misses this, he's landing really badly. And it's probably a goal on the counter, but he just believed in himself. Would I ever pick two random players from a random rank and cast a show match? Probably not. Because most of the ranks in Rocket League are just not that entertaining to watch. Like, pro play is extremely entertaining, bronze play is extremely entertaining, but most of the ranks in between are just like, they're either too average to be interesting or you know, not good enough to be a fun watch either. Chronic missing a power shot there. Just dodged a touch too early. Didn't get the contact he was looking for. Is this the game for AlphaKep to turn this one around? I did predict 3-1, so I'd be feeling pretty good about this. High first touch by Chronic. He's going to go for the backboard here. Misses the third touch on it, though. I mean, that was a really, really difficult play. Look at AlphaKep go now. Throws in a mind game, throws in a bit of a weave on the dribble. And there's another mind game as well. That is so much more like it for AlphaKep. I love that. Has Chronic completely tied up in a knot and squeezes the ball past him as well. Hold on a second, that's just in. What? How does AlphaKep demo Chronic on the kickoff? He lost a kickoff goal while demoing Chronic. I don't think I've ever seen that combination before. Does Kepp mean anything? I'm not sure, in fact. Oh my goodness. Was AlphaKep right? Does Chronic just win all the kickoffs? For a second there, I thought we were getting another kickoff goal, but Chronic's missed it. Who's my favorite 1v1 player to watch? Probably Khaled. He's a monster, obviously, but he's also just so entertaining. The thing that, for me, makes Khaled so exciting is he just knows exactly how much pressure to put on to keep himself relevant in the game. Like, how many times have you seen Khaled lose a game that he just at no point had a chance of coming back? He always seems like he can always come back. That's basically why I find him so exciting to watch. It's why I find Fairy Peak so exciting to watch when Fairy Peak was dominating the one scene. Those guys, they can always come back in a series. Oh, what a save. If that's the save that wins in the game, and I think it will be, well played, AlphaKep. That's huge. Sneaking underneath the air dribble bump. And then putting in his 7th goal. Way to fight back. This is, I mean, just like the J-Bot first killer series. Looking like it could be done and dusted. Then the player is down. Decides to step it up. This time it's AlphaKep. He's going to get another goal for a celebration. Have you ever considered doing a team-based 1v1 25-minute match where the teams can sub in different players between games? Nah. I don't know if that would be too fun. What would probably happen is one team would build up an insurmountable lead. Or a lot of the time, one team would build up an insurmountable lead. And it would just be over. I know a lot of you guys are fans of real sports as well as esports. And you look at real sports and think, wow, look at that. They have all these different quarters, especially in America. You guys love your quarters and your halves and all your numbers and your yard lines and your bases and your positions. Rocket League doesn't need any of that, to be honest. It's a very simple game. It's a beautiful game. You don't need to split, you know, one big game up into quarters. You can just have like a best of series, and then every game is more irrelevant. Instead of having, like, let's say, you know, the first 5 minutes of the game is 8-1, then the second 5 minutes of the game is 10-0 to the same team. Suddenly it's 18-1. Nobody's coming back from 18-1, even with 3 5-minute games left. It's just so hard to see that happening. So immediately you've got a much less exciting rest of the series. Whereas if you're 2-0 down in a best of 5, getting that 3-2 comeback seems a lot more feasible. I mean, you just need to win 3 games by 1 goal each, and it's still perfectly fair. It's not like a less balanced or less fair rule set. I think it's just a better one, and it fits Rocket League perfectly. Also, 5-minute games are what people play when you queue up for Rocket League ranked. That's what you get. You get 5-minute games. So to see the pro players playing those same 5-minute games, anyone else can go queue up and play. That's really cool in my opinion. It's good to be able to play the same way. Oh dear. Well, AlphaKep's missed an open net. Chronic, right before that, had one of the worst landings that we're going to see all day. Extremely all in and just missed. Nice pick up there though. AlphaKep demos Chronic. If you can get a 2-goal lead here, suddenly we were in a position where pressure is really on Chronic. Well, that being said, he's been so good at scoring kickoff goals today. A 2-goal lead, maybe a 2-goal lead wouldn't matter that much. So you can always just, you know, score one and then score a kickoff goal immediately afterwards. Yeah, I would love to see more stats for sure. First Killer is asking, can I play next? First Killer, you do play next. The winner's match happens first, so yes, you can and you will play best of 7 versus the winner of Chronic AlphaKep immediately after this. Who's that likely to be? Well, I'm still leaning towards Chronic. You want to see Khalid and Ahmad do 2v2 versus Jorias and Abjack? That would be pretty fun. I would be down to cast that one. Oh, awkward for AlphaKep. The first touch there had him in a world of trouble. Chronic has really not been able to find any significant follow-up though. Oh wow. AlphaKep's like a heat-seeking missile. He doesn't even need to turn off ball cam. He just drives right into Chronic with ball cam on. Finds him way up on the back wall. Beautiful demo there. I mean, usually when you drive that high up the back wall, you're safe from most players. AlphaKep is not most players though. He will keep on going for demos. Is J-Bot done? No, J-Bot isn't a loser match. So the next match that we will see will be First Killer against the winner of Chronic versus AlphaKep. Then the loser of Chronic versus AlphaKep will play against J-Bot. And then the winner of the loser of this versus J-Bot will play the loser of the winner of this versus First Killer. It's really simple, right? I'm sure you all caught that. I'm sure you all fully understood what I just said with no difficulty whatsoever. Oh, AlphaKep off the inside of the post. That's the worst possible bounce he could have had. Oops, he drops to the quick shot as well. Now to turn an open net into a complete whiff. Will these games be on YouTube? Actually, I need to ask Goldmine if I can upload these to YouTube. I would love to. So I think my YouTube audience would love to see these games, and would love to find out about the fact that Goldmine finals are happening this weekend, with 3 of the matches in the single elim final bracket stage being streamed by me, the other 4 being streamed by Gold Rush themselves. I'll have to ask him. Oh, that's just gorgeous. Well played by Chronic. AlphaKep just floating in front of him and hoping that he'd make contact, but he was a little bit too far to the right. When there's an RLCS in EU, will I try to get First Killer versus Jorias versus Khalid? I mean, I would love to. If First Killer is in another LAN in EU. I would love to, you know, cast some First Killer versus EU player 1v1s while he's in the region, but we'll have to wait for COVID to go away, then we can think about that. Right, come on AlphaKep, can he do it? Yes, he can. So, missed an open net earlier, not this time. He is absolutely coming back here. What a comeback by AlphaKep. He looked like he was not only getting outclassed positionally, like in game 1, Chronic seemed to have figured out AlphaKep's offense a little bit earlier than AlphaKep had figured Chronic out. And then game 2, Chronic started banging in a whole pile of really mechanical goals, and I was extremely worried. I thought that AlphaKep was getting swept, to be honest. But this guy has got some self-confidence. Gengar is up 9-1. What? You guys are having a laugh. There's no way Gengar is winning 9-1. What? How is Gengar utterly destroying his group? No way. Oh, I love that if it's true. Is Gengar actually... Type 9 in chat if that's true. Is Gengar actually winning 9-1? Who's he beating 9-1? Oh, he lost game 1, but then he's winning game 2 9-1. Who's he playing? That's absolutely amazing. Man, I love Gengar. What a player. Where can you watch Gengar? Use the exclamation mark multi-command. You can watch all the games. Mectos. He's beating Mectos 9-1, and Mectos just beat Forky in a sweep. Gengar actually might be my favorite player in NA right now. Oh, that's so funny. What insane guy. Just running with the settings that nobody else uses and crushing top tier RLCSX competition. 1v1 legends. He threw game 1 and now he's destroying. Oh man, I can't wait to go back and watch. I can't wait to go back and watch the Gengar series later on today. Actually, I might have to do it tomorrow. It's going to be really late when we're done today. But yeah, that's one of the other really cool things about Goldmine. And a really cool thing that Gold Rush have done is they've not just assigned me to stream Group A here, but they've had all the other group games streamed by other streamers. So shout out to Smellsworth, shout out to Shogun, shout out to Athena, shout out to Gold Rush for hooking us up with all this insane 1v1 content. And besides casting a ton of 1v1, I'm also just a massive fan of 1v1, so I'll be going back and watching all the great games that I'm currently missing by casting these games for you guys. Not that that is a problem at all, though. My pleasure, truthfully. We've got another game 5. Told you, our group's most scripted. It's going to be the one that lasts the longest. But my prediction stays the same. I still have Chronic winning this. I don't think it's going to be off a lot of missed touches from AlphaKep, but I do think Chronic has... He's just had the edge overall. Bit of identity crisis in the last game, switching up to the Fennec and not looking anywhere near as comfortable. The one thing that Chronic really has to be careful about... I was about to say demos, for goodness sake, Chronic. Give me a moment here. Don't get demoed for a second so I can say you've got to watch out for the demos. Because AlphaKep is connecting with so many demos. Even though he's been going for this all game long, he's really or all series long, he's known for this. Not just in 1s, but in 3s, in ranked. Like, he is a known demo main. But even though he's connecting with dozens of them, Chronic is still letting his guard down. Well, AlphaKep will need to connect with every single demo he can. Chronic ahead by 2 now. Will every video be uploaded to YouTube? Hey, if I'm allowed to upload these videos, if I'm allowed to upload these games to YouTube, I'll upload all of them for sure. Where's JRS? I believe JRS wasn't invited. He had a pretty disappointing Saltmine 2 qualifier performance. I think he only played one of them. Mind game by Kepp. Cuts the lead. And these are always the biggest swing goals you can have. Mind games, demos, any way that you can get inside your opponent's head, sorry. Exactly what you want to be doing. You know, I've got to mention, he was right. Chronic has won the vast majority of the kickoffs here. You give me permission to upload. Okay. Why wasn't Leth invited? I believe that Gold Rush sent out invites to all of basically the guys who have been putting in the best 1v1 performances recently in NA and EU. So basically the guys who have done well in Salt Mine 2, Fusion, the recent tournaments, mainly Salt Mine 2 though. Salt Mine 2 is I think the main driving force behind players that were chosen. Pinch shot by Chronic. AlphaKep's in a perfect position for it. Takes his time. I like that as well. No need to panic just yet. There's a long time left in this one. Ixo didn't get an invite. Well, Ixo didn't play in Salt Mine 2, so same thing again. Oh, that's just in. Chronic with a nice save though. 50-50 goal would have been devastating there. Loving the Gengar match updates that you guys are sending my way. Oh, man. Oh, dear. AlphaKep might have just gone a bit too crazy for that one. Will Chronic get the counter attack? No, he won't. No reset for him. Oh, AlphaKep's just giving it to him. Oh, my goodness. That is pretty painful to watch. I'm glad that he can still have the sense of humor to drop an oops in the chat, but oh man, you really bottled that one. It was a big line of bottles, really. Offensive bottles, defensive bottles. The whole shop, just, he grabbed them all. That's not the kind of Game 5 performance you want to be showing up with against someone as dangerous as Chronic. If you don't play Salt Mine 2, you'll never get an invite to future tournament. I didn't say that. I just explained how this tournament was, how the invites for this tournament were distributed. No, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering about Salt Mine Underground as well. So how are the matchups for that going to be decided? Me and Smellsworth answered that question in the most recent YouTube video that I posted. So when we're done with the Goldmine content for tonight, just head over to my YouTube channel, look at my most recent video. It's called What is Salt Mine Underground? And you'll be able to hear the answer to that question, along with all the other questions that you might have. Oh, wow. That's a bit unfortunate. AlphaKep just got bumped, or yeah, he got pit maneuvered. He just got pit maneuvered by Chronic, who landed on it. Now, usually when a player is landing on top of another player, they are the one who loses control of their car. But this is just one of those times where AlphaKep's car did not like that interaction. It got spun out, and the ball just fell into the top corner. That's pretty unfortunate, but he was already down by 3 goals. It's not been the best game for him. Still time for AlphaKep to come back here, but he needs to hurry up. Chronic is really stepping up the pace, and he's up 6-1. Looks like we might be getting the First Killer versus Chronic match that we've seen many times before. I don't think Chronic's ever beaten First Killer. AlphaKep says what is going on. Chronic says what you mean. AlphaKep says no. Another kickoff loss, and I think AlphaKep's confidence is completely out the window. Oh, where did it all go? Had the momentum in his favor. He was reverse sweeping. And then all of a sudden, Chronic pops off. To be honest, I don't know if it was much of a pop off. I think I would rather call this maybe an AlphaKep poop off. I don't know what the opposite of pop off is. That was the only thing I could come up with in the moment. Yeah, the opposite. He did the opposite of a pop off basically in this game. A little bit too all in for some aggro plays. A little bit too slow to react to Chronic's offense. And a little bit unlucky as well. You know, some 50-50s have been really against AlphaKep in this game. We had that 5th goal as well. It really just put it almost beyond the possibility of a comeback. AJ is 10-0 on Magic Bear. Really? What is happening in the other groups? You got Gengar annihilating Mectos and AJ annihilating Magic Bear. Gengar's up 9-5. Why are all the Gengar games like 20 goals? Oh, I love Gengar. What a guy. If Gengar makes the main event, that is so amazing. That'll make me really happy, honestly. Is Gengar's car just utterly ridiculous as well? Has he got the drums on top of his car again? Please tell me he's playing with the drum topper. What's he running with today? He's at... No way does he have the drums on top of his car. It's pretty clean by his standards. His boost is crazy. Gengar's such a troll. Gengar exists to make other Rocket League players doubt all the hours that they put into this game. All of these players who run into Gengar, they're thinking, how, after 7,000-8,000 hours of playing Rocket League, am I losing to somebody whose car looks like that, who's playing with maxed camera settings? It just doesn't make any sense. But that's what we love to see. Every one of us a Gengar fan, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys are also fans about how this group is going, because Chronic has just sent himself into the winners final for this group. One of First Killer and Chronic will be advancing.